Hey, hey, hey! How's everybody doing? Clay here. Gonna do a shave for you tonight. Tonight I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. So I'm gonna do a head shave tonight instead of doing a face shave, which is what I've done in my last few videos. And I'm going to be using a DE tonight because I know a lot of people who head shave use carts or use a leaf, and I have a leaf razor. I like it quite a bit, but I want to use a DE tonight because a lot of people seem to struggle with using a DE on their head. And of course, everyone's head is shaped differently. So, your mileage may vary, as they say in this hobby. But I thought I would demonstrate my method for using a DE for a head shave and why I like this razor for head shaves. So we'll get started with just what am I using for my head shave tonight. So for my head shave, pre-shave is going to be the Peach Cube mentholated version from PAA, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. For my soap, I am using RABID Banana. So this is a banana scented soap that is a seasonal release from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This is a really good scent. I didn't think I would like it. I wasn't sure about it until I ordered a special mashup soap, which is their RABID Banana mixed with Immortal Peach, called RABID Peach, and I picked up the banana note in it, immediately said, I gotta have that. Some people have said this smells like banana runts candy, those little hard candies that you used to get out of the quarter vending machine. If you're old enough to remember that type of thing, I don't even know if they have those anymore. But especially with COVID going on, I doubt you can get candy from a random vending machine where you just put a quarter in and it comes out of unpackaged and into your hand. But this soap to me smells like banana now and later candies. If you remember now and laters in junior high, we always had now and laters, and banana was one of my favorite flavors. And that's what this smells like to me. So this is the CK1 version of this soap. I have the matching splash for this soap. And I will be using unscented star jelly because I don't have the matching star jelly for this set. For my razor tonight, the Ascension Select. I have the cool little yellow tip on there, the flare tip. These are interchangeable colored tips on this razor. I have it loaded with a brand new Rapira Platinum Luxe blade. My brush is a custom hybrid burl and resin brush from Right On Pen Co. on Etsy. So check out Right On Pen Co. on Etsy if you think this brush is cool looking, which I really think it's pretty cool looking. This has a Best Badger knot in it. I think this is a kind of a small knot. It's like a 22 millimeter, I think. But it gets the job done. And I haven't used it in a while, so I decided I was going to use it. Loaded it up in my scuttle using the Moonscape brush scuttle with ice water. So let's get into it. I'm going to wet the head. I will link this spray bottle in the description. I've had a few people ask me on Facebook in some of the groups, like, what is that spray bottle you're using? And so I saw a couple of other YouTube shavers with this type of a spray bottle, and I thought it was really cool and useful, so I went out and found one and got it. And there's different places you can get them. I got mine on Amazon, and there's a bunch of different brand names and sellers on Amazon with these type of spray bottles. They're just a pump continuous spray bottle, so if you just pump this, it keeps spraying out a nice fine, almost aerosolized mist, which is great for what we use it for in shaving. which is to add just a small amount of water over a large area to build lather and add that moisture. So we got some peach cube on the head. Generous amount because it's been hot as heck lately, and I like that menthol, and the smell of this peach cube is great. Goes great with this soap. So we're gonna add a little more water and start building our lather. So I just kind of go over it, get some soap on the head, then I add more water, and I just keep building. The brush picks up that water, and that soap just gets mixed, and it just starts to build that lather. And you can already see it's lathering up nicely. CK1 is not as thirsty as CK6, and it's even softer out of the tub than CK6, which is not a hard soap by any means, but the CK1 really is like bordering on a crope. It's not quite a cream consistency, but it's very soft, which is nice when you scoop and load from the scuttle like I do, because it's easy to load, it's soft, it goes right into the brush and doesn't take a lot of work. And I don't have to sit there and work at getting that last bit of soap out of the bottom of the scuttle like I do with some soaps. So that's good. And I still get a rich, creamy lather with this soap. You can probably see how nice that lather looks already. Still pretty thick. I think we could lighten that up a little bit more. But we're pretty much there. All right. So with my head shaves, what I do is I usually start on the back of my neck. And I know my growth patterns, so just like on my face, you got to kind of know your growth pattern. Everybody's hair grows in different directions. I got a big cowlick right back here on the crown, back of my crown, and you know, so, and I got a couple moles. I got a little mole here, a little mole back here. So you got to know what's going on, especially with the DE razor. Love this razor for head shaves because the head geometry of this razor is just so well suited for head shaves. For me anyways, it just seems like I just get the perfect angle intuitively. It's not like I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to concentrate on it. Just, ooh, knock my picture off the wall. That's a nice little blooper for the video. And I'm no video editor, so that'll stay in. You'll get to hear that big crash. Oh, broke my alum block in half. Fell right on my alum block. Looks like it's time to order an alum block from PAA. So I start on the back of my neck, and I just kind of get that area done. For whatever reason, that's just kind of how I've always done it. Of course, you could start anywhere, but this is just my preferred method. So then I go to this side, and I kind of go behind the ear here, and I work my way up, and I kind of come forward around the top of the ear here. I get some forward and then kind of some up strokes here. Soap has plenty of residual slickness, so I can kind of buff these kind of short buffing strokes here to kind of get this. This area always takes a few of these kind of strokes to get it smooth. And of course I'll do more than one pass because as I've said before, I love the BBS shave, and so I'm always chasing it. But I never have trouble with my head. I've been shaving my head daily for quite a long time, and I never really have any problems with like irritation or anything like that. I just saw a hair from my brush. That's the only complaint I have about this brush is I think the knot is a shedder. It has been since day one. It's kind of been a heavy shedder, and I still find at least a couple of hairs on every shave, which tells me that this knot is not going to last that long, because eventually it's going to shed out so many hairs that it's just not going to have the density needed to continue to do its job. And I spoke with the artisan who made it, and it is epoxied in to like a metal cup that's set into the handle. So I don't know how hard it's going to be to possibly change this thing out when it gets time to do so. I may give it a try. I suppose if the knot is no longer functional, then the brush is basically no longer functional. So if I destroy the handle in the process, I destroyed a non-functional brush. I mean, it's got some time before I hit that point, but I thought about trying to change the knot out almost immediately because I just wasn't super happy with the knot. And I'm sure that if you request a custom handle from him, you could ship him whatever knot you like, and he could set that knot in for you. When I bought this, it was already made. I didn't really know very much about knots or brushes in general. I just thought it was a really cool looking handle. Price seemed pretty good, so I just jumped on it, and I am happy with the brush. It's a nice looking brush. It's a good part of my collection. It does its job. I just don't like that the knot sheds. I'm a silver tip badger kind of knot guy, and the best badgers just aren't my favorite. So then I come back around after I've done both sides and the top, and I just start working my way up the back. This head shave is going fantastic so far. I can feel the feedback from the razor. Right here's a tricky area because I got a mole back here, and then I got a weird funky growth pattern across this area, so I kind of gotta be careful about the mole but go in the right direction to get that hair. Now I have nicked that mole a few times, and I think it's actually a little flatter than it used to be because of that. So I have a tendency to not nick it as much anymore. And I'll tell you right now, I nicked it, way more times using carts than I ever did with my leaf or with a DE. So that is one pass down. There's a few spots, like this little spot right here is always needs a few more strokes and work. My cowlick back here, there's like a little fold across the back of the head where when you tilt your head back it kind of wrinkles. I gotta go over that again. So we'll wet the head again, lather it up. Hope everybody had a great week this week. Some of you guys that are friends with me on Facebook or are in the shaving groups and stuff, well, I don't think I've mentioned it in the shaving groups, but my family has had a rough year. My wife's family specifically. In the last like month and a half, we've had 4 deaths in the family. And I know COVID can be a touchy subject for people, and I don't really want to get, I don't want to catch any heat from any of my followers or subscribers or anyone watching this video, or YouTube for that matter. I'm no doctor. I am training in the medical field, so I do have some knowledge of how viruses work and all that stuff. But my wife's uncle just passed away from COVID, and it's sad because everybody's kind of treating it like this thing is gone, it's over, it's done. And clearly that is not the case for everyone. Yes, he had some underlying conditions. He also lives in the Philippines, or lived in the Philippines. His family lives in the Philippines. My wife is from the Philippines. So I don't know exactly, what's going on with the vaccines and things over there. But I will tell you this. I was offered the vaccine early because I was training to be going to the medical field, and I had to do internship. And as soon as I was offered the opportunity, I took it. I took my vaccine. I had no problems with it. Both shots, I took the Moderna and had 0 side effects or problems or issues, as did all of my classmates. And pretty much everyone I know has had that has had the vaccine has been fine. The percentage of people who have had a reaction to their vaccine is far lower than the percentage of people who have gotten COVID and died. Now, I know it's not a huge, super high percentage. A lot of people like to throw around the whole 99% recovery rate thing. I'd have to go and actually run those numbers to see if that's accurate. I don't think that's exactly accurate. But regardless, far fewer people have possibly died from the vaccine or had reactions from the vaccine than have died from COVID. I think vaccines are a very useful thing in today's day and age. Our Earth is extremely populated, and viruses like this are going to become more prevalent. And just about the only way that we can ensure a high degree of safety for the masses is through herd immunity. And the only way to get herd immunity without suffering extreme losses, in some cases, depending on the virulence and the morbidity of the virus, is to get people vaccinated against it. So, I think people should be less skeptical, and not everything's a conspiracy. I hope everyone stays healthy. I don't want to see anybody else I know die from COVID. We've had a couple deaths in the family from COVID, and my mother-in-law had 2 close friends that were roommates that were elderly, her age. Both died from COVID a few months ago. Very sad. It's a terrible thing. So I urge people to get their vaccine. Obviously, it's your body, and you do as you feel comfortable with. But I wish more people would stop listening to conspiracy theorists and listen to educated medical professionals. There's nothing nefarious about it. I don't have a microchip in me. I feel fine. There's no mind control going on. And believe me, I'm no bootlicker. I'm all for personal liberties and independence and freedom of speech and freedom to do with your body what you will. But when you start to lose people close to you, it hits home, and the more people that don't get vaccinated, the harder it is to hit that herd immunity level and get this thing to go dormant so that it's just not likely to be transmitted between those who are unvaccinated. So enough on that. One way to protect yourself besides that is to stay healthy, and I'm trying to do that. Trying to lose weight. Some of you guys know I've been on a weight loss journey. I've kind of stalled out recently, went through some stressful times. I kind of ate a little more food than I should have at times. I've tried to avoid the sweets. I'm a sweet monger. I love my sugar, and diabetes runs in my family. So I've been watching that. I don't drink sodas. I don't drink fruit juices. I try not to eat any candies. I really don't eat much like in the way of baked goods. I've been watching my carb intake. I know a friend on Facebook, he might watch this video. Jeff, I know this isn't his real last name, Chiapet. He's a vegan. He's been urging me to go to veganism. I've been vegan before in the past, and I know it's healthy for you if you do it right. I'm not a huge lover of, although I do eat them occasionally, of these meat replacements. I think a lot of them have a lot of processed ingredients that are really just not super healthy, seed oils, stuff like that. So I'm considering going vegan again. Cheese is my Achilles heel. I love my cheese, and it's hard to give up cheese. I can give up meat pretty easily for the most part. I love vegetables, but I love cheese. I don't know how many of you guys love cheese, but man, I love cheese. And the vegan cheese substitutes, again, very processed, probably not the very healthiest thing out there. Anyways, they're expensive, and they just, the texture's not quite right, the flavors aren't quite right. So I've got to get creative again. The best things I've ever made was like when I made my own almond cheese. Like it was more like a soft, like a cheese spread, but you take raw almonds, you soak them, you blend them, and you can make yourself a pretty delicious cheese type substitute that you can spread onto like a rice cake or something like that. I don't do bread anymore because I'm trying to watch those carbs, so rice cakes are lower in carbs, and they're a vessel in which you can put something on and eat it, which I like. Can't really do any other things like tortillas or crackers for the most part. I have celiac disease, so have to avoid all of those things with wheat in them. So I realize this video is going to run a little bit longer than I anticipated, just because I've been talking quite a bit. So, in the comments, let me know, hey, Clay, less talky, more shavy. And I'll try and, maybe I need to write myself some notes so I stay on track about a couple of topics, keep it to that, focus more on the shave. Although I feel like just watching somebody shave in silence is kind of boring, so I kind of talk just about whatever is on my mind at the moment. But this shave is pretty much done. I'm just kind of, this third pass here is just kind of a pickup pass, anything that I might have missed. Just hit this back right here. This little spot right here is kind of always a little bit tricky. And a little bit of stubble right there. But one thing to realize too, especially if you're new, face shaving or head shaving, if it feels pretty smooth, even if you can just detect the tiniest bit of stubble in one direction against the grain or something, that will go away once you rinse, let your skin dry, the hair follicles dry out and recede back under the skin, and you won't feel it anymore. It'll be very smooth. So keep that in mind. If you chase BBS too hard, you will regret it. So that is pretty much it. That's a solid head shave right there. Super smooth. I'm going to do a quick rinse. Man, that was a great head shave. Super smooth, super comfortable. As you can see, there's no blood. I'll let you see the back there. Don't mind the weird birthmark I got on my head. See, I can feel just the tiniest bit of stubble because it grows in a weird direction back here. There. The cowlick, see? Got it. And that's it. Done. Done deal. Super smooth. BBS shave. Put some star jelly on there. I got a new camera mount and I relocated it on the mirror so that I think this is a better orientation for you guys to be able to see better. I can see better. Hopefully it makes the videos a little bit more enjoyable. Got the star jelly on. Left a little bit of time for it to soak in and evaporate, but I want to get this splash. If it's possible, this is even more banana-y, if that's a word, more scented like banana than the soap. Oh man, that feels good. Oh man, that smells really, really good. Highly recommend you check out RABID Banana. Pick up an aftershave sample. I think it'll be around for a couple months, hopefully. So pick up an aftershave sample for 99 cents. Even if you got to order, 5 or 10 samples and pay the shipping, it's not much. You can get away with, 15 samples or something for 20 bucks. Check out a bunch of scents from PAA. You might find some things that you really, really didn't know you would love that you do. That's kind of been my experience with him. He makes some really interesting stuff. Check out Aloha Smackdown, another really cool, nostalgic, sweet summer, fruit punch scent that I didn't think I would like, that I love. Check out Immortal Peach. These are really cool, unique scents that I don't see with other artisans. So highly recommend you check those out. If you stuck with me through this whole video, I really appreciate it. If you, like my content, I'm new to this, let me know where I can improve. Smash the like button and maybe give me a subscribe. I really appreciate it. And until next time, be well, be blessed, and be kind. Peace.